afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Bets and Banter Show, the World Cup edition, with your iconic duo. It's the one and only Papi and the Ghanaian stallion, the one who's been wrong with his predictions from the first game. None of them have come right. Which game did you say would happen?
Ghana beating South Korea.
That was known. I said you would win that one, and I'm sure you followed me with that.
If there's anybody who's been very biased about Ghana's progress in the World Cup, it's you.
Yeah, because I knew they wouldn't.
So how would you even predict we even win one match?
Nah, of course. Look, listen.
So it shows viewers it's like never predicted.
Tactically, you guys were lacking.
Anyway, I'm not here to talk about Ghana today.
Well, we've just recently had the round of 16 games that happened for the past days, and they were hot and steamy. But before we get into it, the elephant who has taken all the headlines from the first game at the World Cup, rumors came out and circulated that Cristiano Ronaldo didn't want to play or wanted to leave the Portuguese camp because he was told before the game that he would be benched. Is he being childish or it's typical Ronaldo?
I feel there is no smoke without fire.
Yes.
I feel strongly because when I heard some aspect that the coach said he spoke to Ronaldo before that decision came up, I understand there should be a call for respect.
Yes.
That as a player as he is, the coach would speak to him before he probably would think of benching him. On that premise of respect, I still also believe that the coach doesn't owe him anything if he decides to bench him for the sake of the team. So I really feel, for the extent that he was wanting to leave the camp, I feel that's a bit of exaggerated. I don't think it's true. I think nobody wants the World Cup that Ronaldo does. And if he believes in his team, that his team can win even without him, which he knows, I don't think the first thing that will come on his mind is to leave camp because he's been benched. I really don't think so. I just feel he was furious about it, and that's the end of it. Okay.
I do agree with you on that point that maybe it is just hearsay from people to say that.
And it's funny how the media is doing a lot to get stories of Ronaldo in a very negative way. I mean, before we came on the show, Mazid Ozil, his former playmate at what do you call it?
At Real Madrid.
At Real Madrid. Put up a post on Facebook. Let me see if I can find it.
He was talking about Ronaldo's character.
He says, this is what he says. He says, I really don't get where this constant negativity from the press about Ronaldo Cristiano comes from. The media is just trying to get clicks, and pundits who don't have a career anymore just want to get attention on his big name and try to make him look bad. He is soon 38 years old, so what's the surprise that he doesn't score 50 goals a season anymore? Every football fan out there should be happy to have seen him playing world-class football for 20 years. I don't think anyone from the new generation will be able to match his numbers again. He will forever be in his own category. Everyone should show respect to one of the greatest athletes in sports history.
That's Mesut Ozil and Cristiano Ronaldo, and rumors that are circulating. Always negative in the social media when they're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. But when he came on in that game, you could tell how happy the Portuguese fans were to see Ronaldo just step in, even if it was for the remaining 20 minutes. They were so excited and happy that they call him bigger than the president in Portugal because Ronaldo is such a big icon. And his presence even for the last 20 minutes was immense. Speaking of, we just jump right into this quarterfinals. Portugal won that game 6-1, annihilating Switzerland in the round of 16. And a new star was born on this day, Goncalo Ramos.
Well, the scoreline was a bit exaggerated. I never expected the scoreline to be like that. Maximum could be or should, based on my own thinking, I think should have been maybe
much more tight, closer than it
3-1,
was.
something like that. You know, 4-2, 2-1. Not certainly not 1-0, because this World Cup has shown that there's a lot of goals, particularly in teams who are quite explosive. You know, when some teams play, you always would expect a goal to come out of it, and if their counterpart also equally has goals in them, then it's going to be a big scoreline. So that was quite predictable that the match was going to have goals, but the scoreline was just too much. I feel they were just a bit shocked.
I'm sure
matches, if you've noticed, in this World Cup, matches that has ended like that, where there's a big scoreline in the first half, usually ends up having double in the second half. Because people just, I mean, it's done.
it was done. 4-0 at halftime. And, you know, the end of the day.
That was not a typical knockout match. It was a bit.
No, others would say, how did countries like Switzerland and South Korea make it to the next round?
I don't buy the argument. You know, until you, I mean, you could be just taking us back to historic wars. You could be in your own king, in your own little kingdom, defeating your next village, and thinking you are the biggest. You march on a few kilometers away to meet another warrior, and he'll kill the whole community. It doesn't mean you were not strong in your territory. Also, let's say you use a certain tactics to defeat your neighbors. The guy far from end would have heard about you and planned towards your defeat. So by the time you meet them, they would have mapped up a strategy to defeat you. So that's how basically football is. The more you progress, I mean, everyone has access to each other's thinking. So whereas individual brilliance can make difference. And let's say South Korea beats Portugal. Don't forget South Korea beat Portugal.
Yes, they did.
2-1 to qualify. But what happened?
Next game,
they lost to Brazil 4-1. I mean, yes, can we say Brazil cannot beat Portugal 4-1? They can beat. It's possible. The same way Portugal could beat Brazil. So football is a very funny game, and knockout matches don't go with formula. Knockout matches are matches that comes with shock, surprises from the technical team, tactics. At a point, tactics don't work, just win. Sometimes it works. So
now, speaking about the same Brazil versus Korea, what a game! What a match!
I think
in the group stages, Brazil wasn't.
Sorry, the Koreans were tactically and technically stupid. You know why?
Why were they?
There is no team in this world that will play the Brazilians or play a typical Brazilian team and go all out that we are going to score them. Who are you? Like, where? How? Who are you? You can't do that. I mean, there's never been a generation of a Brazilian team that cannot force goals or come at you. They are not scared of anybody. It's in their blood. So if you're going to meet a Brazilian team at any level of football, women's tournament, everything, Brazilians never defend. They come at you. They'll play with you to whoever scores. And whereas they have quality than you, the least you should do is to be pragmatic. Like you should at least defend a bit, you know, find a way. You just don't go out. Who is South Korea? You just go out and then you feel you can match Casemiro and go in the video, play with them and compete. You can't do that. You'll be trashed. So the scoreline wasn't surprising. Based on the tactics they had it wrong. If they had gone in a more conservative manner, stood back, frustrate the Brazilians and catch them on counter, which they have the players to do so, the Sun and co. Could have been a different, maybe the scoreline wouldn't have been the same.
At 3-0, it looked like Korea was struggling because Brazil were having fun with their defense, their midfield.
Because they pinned them back and because at the point that they thought, look, we can play with them. Right in the middle, they were being bullied. Because Brazilians have world-class midfielders. So
Both on and
they
off.
can afford to intentionally play it out like we are all doing a 50-50. But they have the upper hand.
Yeah.
They will be making the decisive passes, the runs, whilst you will be running around getting tired.
Yeah.
And they will be having fun.
Look at the third goal. Richarlison playing with the ball, keeping up with his head, with his feet.
That's individual brilliance. Yeah.
The understanding, I didn't see this from Brazil in the group stages because I felt they were not showing intent.
Oh, but a good team always grow well as
they go.
Yeah, as they go.
Yeah.
So you would expect every team left in the tournament right now. The idea is that they have grown over time from their first match to where they are now. Because if you are not good enough, you wouldn't be in the around 16th stage or 1/8 stage at this moment. You wouldn't be that good. You need to beat the best at the moment in front of you. A battle is who you defeat in front of you, not who is coming.
Yeah.
So whoever they beat is enough at that time for them to. So it means they are good enough to be where they are. That's easy.
Some fans and some pundits and some Brazilians are calling Richarlison the second coming of Ronaldo.
Forget. He can't even he can't even lace his boots.
His boots.
He can't even lace Ronaldo's boots to talk of. Look, if Ronaldo is quarter fit, that's Richarlison. No disrespect. Yes.
Hey, that's harsh.
No, it's not harsh. It's reality. If it's like comparing who Liverpool's Henderson to Zinedine Zidane. Are you serious?
No, we can't.
No, but that's exactly what you are trying to do. The fact that Henderson had an amazing career, he was the first Liverpool captain to win the Premier League trophy.
Yes.
In its current state as it is.
Yeah.
And won Champions League, this and that. Doesn't mean if all the laurels is gone, he can be matched to even Paul Scholes. It's not possible. So class is permanent. And Richarlison to Ronaldo.
But look, Richarlison is a generational talent.
Even in Ronaldo's baddest career, he would never ever would have played for Everton or Tottenham. No disrespect to Spurs fans, but
no, I'll say no disrespect to Spurs fans. As a Chelsea fan,
look at you.
we don't know.
But since this is a banter show, I don't think Chelsea was ever in the eyes of any good footballer at that time in their era.
Which time? For which time? Which time do you claim this?
I'm happy.
Which time was Chelsea not good?
I don't know.
Because the time Ronaldo was starting off, we started to pick up. We had just won the Club World Cup, beating Madrid.
So you started picking up. I'm glad you used that.
Picking up.
Yes.
But see, Chelsea has always
Anyway,
been
let's
there.
go back to the World Cup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bets and Banter show. As you can see, this United fan is trying to rattle me. But we moved to USA versus Netherlands.
I was expected
for the USA.
Although I was a bit disappointed with the way of manner US played.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Netherlands. And well, you could. They played to their strength anyway. I think the US had a very energetic midfield of those three guys who ran throughout, but are not really purposeful based on experience.
Yeah.
And also that wasn't a surprising scoreline. It was expected.
I did expect more from the USA because I felt this is one of their strongest teams that they've ever brought out to the World Cup.
Maybe they'll be better when they host it, which is
2026.
Yeah.
How's that even fair though? USA have hosted
94.
94, yes.
Oh, that's about 30 years ago.
Yeah, but the other countries that deserve
but
bring
life
it back
itself
to
is not
Africa.
fair. Do you want us to give it to Togo to host?
No, Togo
So what are you talking about?
Somebody has to come back to Africa. Egypt.
Zambia.
Hey, we
can't even host AFCON. You want to
What
host
do
the
you
World
mean?
Cup.
What could host it. We have the
baby
facilities.
steps. Which facilities?
Zambia can do what Qatar did. Argentina was struggling to beat Australia, but they managed to win the game. Messi showing that class is permanent.
Well, we will see tonight how they fare against Louis van Gaal's Netherlands. Who would they respect?
Yeah.
The Argentines tonight. I mean, they're going to rattle them throughout the match.
Okay.
So that said, the Argentines haven't convinced me. I don't think they are playing as potential champions.
Okay.
I feel they lack. I don't think their defense are even good enough. I feel any very solid forward, and I feel tonight they might lose.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel they might lose tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, the match could go as far as to penalties. As much as I trust their goalkeeper Martinez, I feel the Netherlands can pull through if the win gets there. I feel the Netherlands have enough experience of players who have played for some years now, and can match them in all form. And they have a tough coach. You know, sometimes we don't try to give credit to the guys on the bench, but I mean, Louis van Gaal has seen it all. He knows what to tell these boys to go on the field. And
they also have the assistant coach, Daley Blind's father.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Those guys they've been there and been there. From all sides of the coin, they can match and beat the Argentines to their game. I think today's match will be won from the bench.
It will be something to look
and
forward
maybe some individual brilliance. But if it comes to that, I feel everybody will be willing to sacrifice their head. Today's match will be deadly.
It will be deadly.
It will be a war.
No, at this stage of the World Cup, every game is
because you are 3 matches away from winning the trophy.
Holding that.
Yeah, every match right now is a knockout. Just win in 90 minutes and you are closer to the trophy.
Okay. France, as expected, defeated Poland.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a boring match. I think I was sleeping. I was dozing off in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. I think it only came to a bit of light in the second half when Mbappe was doing his classic.
How good is that boy?
He's very good. I don't think he's gone to his potential yet. And it's also maybe basically down to himself, of how he carries himself. I think that guy is very good.
There's a statistic that has come out to say at 360 games of Mbappe's career, he's already managed to equal Wayne Rooney's 260 goals.
I think those are different players. No, you know, sometimes you pull all sorts of statistics among footballers who played in similar role. I don't think Rooney in his life had ever played like Mbappe.
No.
Rooney has more or less been a team player. Rooney is your typical guy who sometimes plays as a midfielder that drops so deep to play as an Mbappe, not 9 who wait for. Mbappe is more of drift to the ring. And he
scores more than he assists.
Exactly. So on that level, for me, has Saka of Arsenal not had more goals than Rooney in a World Cup match? Yes. But I mean, we all would wait to see. It's a bit not comparable. I'll compare Mbappe more to a typical striker than Rooney, who we all know how he used to play. Maybe Rooney doesn't even care if he doesn't even score in a match.
Isn't Mbappe an updated version of Cristiano Ronaldo?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think he's more or less like that. He's more of a winger attacker than he loves, because he wants more of the ball. He loves to play the ball as well. And he's not your type who can play in the middle like that, because he's always looking to drill you from the shoulder. But that's where I wouldn't compare him to Rooney. Rooney can be in the middle and play with the midfielders and give your long passes. Mbappe can do that. So it's very difficult for me to, I will probably compare him to Benzema, whom they are similar kind of players. They kind of drift. They are all strikers, both of them. That I can compare to his countryman, but to Wayne Rooney, no, I don't think I've seen a striker like that. Rooney's similar player can be Suarez. Suarez could come in the middle. Look how he did to Ghana. That's typical Suarez for you. And that's what Rooney, those are the chaps. Suarez is not selfish.
No.
It's never. He
Knows when to square
sometimes
the
yes,
ball.
he feels happy to assist.
Yeah.
Even then, so those
Typical
generational
team players.
yeah, those strikers had their own way of playing. I mean, I can't compare Aguero to Rooney. No, I can't do that.
No, those are different sides.
But of course,
We look at
strikers.
Japan versus Croatia. This was one of the very boring games. Ended
Very boring.
1-1 full time.
Very boring.
Went
Very
straight to
boring.
penalties.
But I think that Croatia deserved to have won it.
They are the old dogs. That is one of the most aging teams at the
Yeah, and I pray they don't pull an upset.
Oh, that's brewing. That's.
No, I pray because if it happens, I think if it happens, the World Cup will lose some value, some vibe. Yeah, FIFA will not be happy to see
Croatia beat Brazil and make it.
Okay, on my prediction, I feel Argentina will go home today. Because as my United fan, I need Lisandro Martinez to go home and rest.
And be fit.
Yes, be fit for the Premier League.
Which starts on the 26th.
Exactly, Boxing Day.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
so
Morocco.
Argentina by tonight.
Morocco outclassing and beating Spain.
And then I hear one of the players, Rodri,
yes,
comes out and say that Morocco did not offer anything. But what was the end game of football?
But to win, it is to win.
What? But he should blame his stupid coach. Sorry for the word. But then Luis Enrique was very abysmal.
Yeah.
He was so biased in his selection and so arrogant. And I'm glad he's out.
He's left the post as coach.
He didn't leave. It was that normal diplomatic way of sacking. Proceed
to keep his
because
reputation intact.
they obviously gave him an ultimatum that look, you have to do better than else you'll be ousted. And that's what happened because there is no way you drop Sergio Ramos and come out and give an excuse that he's old. You take experienced players, you put them on the bench, and play these young guys who have never played a World Cup match in their lives, and you pair these two Barcelona boys of Gavi and Pedro. Of course they are great, but there's always been that. And Iniesta, even at his talented youth, was not starting a World Cup match at that age.
Yeah.
Because they had Mendieta and big players that time who were starting.
Even Guardiola.
Yeah, so the fact that you are so talented at that age, there was a big yes.
Yeah.
So Luis Enrique, he has himself. I mean, as an African, all of us were rooting for our fellow brothers in Morocco to win. So
who have said this win was for the Islam nation?
Oh, but I mentioned the Morocco beat Spain. Have you forgotten?
Yeah.
Yes, I said it here. because it would be surprising for Morocco to top their group 7 points and they will look at the Spanish team and tell them come and beat me. It wasn't going to happen. It was not going to happen at all.
Their goalkeeper hasn't conceded a goal and
he's
only scored himself.
It's very normal. The Northern Africans always have a way of producing good goalkeepers for themselves. Always. From Tunisia to Egypt, who we all know from Egypt, they always have good goalkeepers. Yeah. How they manage is surprising compared to other part of Africa.
Yeah,
who are not so good at.
Anyway, we have our quarterfinals coming up, but before we look at that, we look at just a few stats that have been put together so far. Most shots at the tournament, the top two are Kylian Mbappe with 21 and Lionel Messi with 19. These two are pulling out the shift to...
Yeah, but hopefully by the end of this weekend they will go home.
They both go home. Fingers crossed. I wouldn't like to see Mbappe win the World Cup again.
I would... There's this funny feeling that the loss of Queen Elizabeth will cause England to win the World Cup. And she's been sacrificed.
Okay. I think we'll go on a short break, ladies and gentlemen, but stay tuned and we'll be back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Bets and Banters, the World Cup edition. So, Bozana, I was giving you a few statistics on what's currently happening. I said the most shots came from Kylian and Messi. Most dribbles came from Musiala. I heard you say that Musiala is one of the most talented boys.
He had the most attempted
dribbles,
but the most successful in the match is the Ghanaian kudos.
No. It's still
the most successful take on in one match is kudos in the matches played.
This propaganda
that is coming from an African footballer, Mohamed Kudus of Ayas, playing for Ghana.
The other player is Kylian Mbappe.
And that guy is your next top African star, no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure as a top star, you probably can play for a big club in England like Chelsea. That's where we look at the ASEAN. No.
Trust me. Listen.
The most successful midfielder in your history.
95% of Ghanaians will tell you that they wouldn't want him to come to Chelsea.
No.
And I heard you just saying something right now.
One of your most successful midfielders in Ghanaian history was Essien. Where else would Kudos go to enjoy his football than to Chelsea? We have a new project or a task coming up. We're trying to build these young stars, and he would fit in quite well to replace Jorginho, who's aging. But anyway, key passes came from Rodri with 635, followed by Laporte with 435. Most tackles are from Hakrif Hakimi. He has been immense. Right back. He's a right back.
Oh, of course, I mean he's a class act.
He's been
and that guy playing in their main field, where does he get his heart from? He basically combined Biscuit, Pedro and Gavi every day and was playing them.
Yes, he was. Hakimi is a big star. His move to PSG still baffles me today, because he would have gone back to Real Madrid, but he opted to go for the money move, of course.
Well, I mean, he's still young. He could still make it back to Spain one day if he wants to.
Would United like him over Deloitte?
No. We like Deloitte as he is right now. We are good.
How old is Deloitte? 22?
23, I think.
Oh,
I
so
think
he's still young.
Moreno bought him, he was 19 years.
Yeah. He's put
he's on fire.
He's put Spider-Man to shame. Haven't seen him play ever
He's
since the beginning of the season. Not even friendlies. Wan-Bissaka.
Well, Wan-Bissaka is not a bad player.
He's gone.
I mean, but for United, look, he would have been a shining star under Alex Ferguson, and he still could shine in under any manager. But for Ten Hag, I don't think he's the kind of player he wants.
Yeah.
He probably wants someone who can offer more when
in attacking.
They attack.
Yeah. Okay. Most saves came from Szczesny.
The Polish goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Well, as expected, because they played against him who were always coming.
At them. Yeah. So we now dive into the quarterfinals. We have 4 games. The first match, Croatia versus Brazil. You were saying you hope they don't.
I don't want Croatia to win. For the sake of the tournament, I want Brazil to win, because I feel we deserve a lovely semi-final. Croatia. But the funny thing, they could put a surprise and beat Brazil today.
But that's
why the fear is.
I can feel it, but I really do hope it doesn't happen.
I hope so too.
Because
if
for the
sake
of the game,
football,
it won't make sense.
Yeah, it would make sense.
I know. After the way Brazil played against South Korea, to be embarrassed by Croatia. Croatia, not take anything away from Croatia. It's a good team. They have one of Ballon d'Or winners, some good talents from their country, Kovacic and the like. But to beat Brazil, this Brazilian team,
well,
you said you for this game I'm going for a narrow win. Brazil to beat Croatia to 1-0.
I expect Croatia to score, so I'm going to go for 2-1 or 3-1. Hopefully
in favor of Brazil.
Or I will also not be surprised if it goes to 1-1 to
Penalties.
Yes. Where I will expect Alison Berger to pull a magic
To show them, to keep them. Okay. You said you see Netherlands to surprise Argentina.
Not surprise, beat them. What's surprise about
Straight.
Netherlands beating Argentina? I mean, who's Argentina? Yeah, it's not a big deal.
Well, I'm going with Argentina. I don't think we can easily come out.
And then history says that the Netherlands can beat the Argentines. In '98, they did it.
Oh yes.
So, it's not going to be surprising.
Scoreline or penalties?
At this stage,
Yeah.
any match can go to penalties. I feel strength are very close because if you are not good enough, you will not be at this stage.
Yeah.
So it can obviously could go to penalties. But if it doesn't, I wouldn't expect any high margin. But let's not forget that there was a time Germany beat Argentina 4-0 in the quarterfinal match in South Africa. The Argentines always have a way of
bowing out.
Yeah. I couldn't expect so much from them, they will disgrace you.
So are you saying that Messi's chance to win the World Cup was in 2014?
I think they are not lucky with European teams. Probably because the European teams know them so well because they play with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morocco versus Portugal.
I feel Morocco will be a surprise. I feel Morocco might be the first country from Africa to reach the semi-final. And you know what is happening?
Yeah.
All the times that teams have really done well from Africa, it's mostly 10 years apart. 10, 12 years apart.
And they all have stars on their flags.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They all have stars on their flags.
That means that Zambia will never do anything.
Yeah, we can simply put a star on it and, you know, one of the best African countries. Zambia.
So wait, are you saying that because of
hey, what if there's a pattern here?
Are you saying that because of your imagination? I'm trying to find the right way. Because of what you think about possible country from Africa doing well at the World Cup because of the star on their flag, you want Zambia to have a star on the flag.
Right just there underneath the eagle.
His Excellency this is a plea to you for Zambia to qualify to the World Cup and to even think of doing well. Zambia needs a star.
Just one star.
Just one.
Under the eagle.
One.
To make sense. Because if you see Morocco, Cameroon, your country, and Senegal all have stars on their flags. But they also all have green. So green could be the lucky. I'm going for 2-1. I think it will be a close game, but Morocco win this game in full time. Extra time. So.
We are praying Morocco wins it so that Ronaldo and all this trouble can go home and sleep.
So Ronaldo and Messi to leave in the quarters.
The Man United players can come back fit.
Okay.
And come and play.
England versus France.
What a match.
This game will be the game of the tournament.
It looks like, with all media attention on it.
And especially if these players were to fight with the French.
My heart says England.
My heart says England too.
But my mind.
No, there's nothing about heart and mind. You pick one team and the score.
Oh, no, my friend. The heart and the mind is different organs. Yes, the brain is different from the heart. You can't say the brain is the. You know, there are times your heart, like you feel so sorry for someone who kind of ask you for help. Like your heart is so weak, but your brain is like, nah, don't do this. That is an example, a classic example of how the heart and the mind, the heart and the brain can contradict itself in messaging to you as a human being.
Okay.
So your heart will be like, oh, this is so sad. But your brain will tell you, my friend, don't get.
What is your brain saying tactically? If you see the tactical know-how of both teams, England have proven that they can score goals. They have a stronger midfield. And a better defense.
If you even go in that direction, then I feel my brain equally sees England. If you're going into tactics, I feel the English have enough men to match the French guys and even overcome them in so many ways. I feel the English team has a lot of players who have been experienced in the past 3 tournaments they've been in, the last World Cup, the Euros, and this. The French have made some changes, but not so much.
Yeah.
Because I mean, some of the changes have been of quality.
And also injuries.
I feel the match will be won from midfield. Whoever puts their best and whoever works smarter and harder will put a surprise. But if it gets tougher, it could be won from the bench. When I think the English have an upper hand.
Yeah.
The English have more firing on the bench than the French.
I feel the same. If Southgate does get starting from the first part before you even get to the bench.
What's your probable lineup for the English?
I'm going with 3-5-2. That's the
3 backs.
3 back, yes. In the sense that he's going to start Walker at the back to handle Mbappe's pace.
Interesting.
And then Trippier as the right wing back to ping in the balls. And then he's going to crowd the midfield with the likes of Rice, Foden, Bellingham, and then on the left wing, Shaw, of course, and then up front, Kane will play with Saka.
It sounds like a good formation for English, and it could probably work for them.
And then Sterling will probably come on in the second half. He's back from the family emergency that he had, so they do have the will and the firepower to see off the French team if they can handle Dembele's good dribbling.
I don't think Dembele. I mean, the English defenders come across this kind of players in the English Premier League week in and week out. They know them. They've played players of their quality in and out. They are not players who can crack under pressure like Luke Shaw, Wolves, meet Mbappe and say, no. He's played with them. They beat them. Playing for United and so. That's what we call experience, which you can buy. So,
and the United players should know Varane's weaknesses.
The same way they also tell you to know someone's weaknesses. So it's neither here nor there. We'll see. But I pray England wins.
Okay, so those are our predictions.
I actually hope England could win the World Cup.
In commemoration, in memory of Her Majesty.
So that the so-called conspiracy theories of her being a sacrificial lamb successful.
Well, that's all we had for the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
We do hope that our predictions are right. Me more than you, as usual, as I get my predictions.
You don't get it more than me.
Spot on. Brazil to win, Argentina to win, Morocco to win, England to win. Those are my predictions of the quarters.
I hope Brazil wins.
No, you have to change your mentality about that game.
Brazil,
now,
Netherlands, England, and Morocco to go through.
Okay, so you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in. Please stay tuned to Mozo TV for more shows, and we'll be back next time with the World Cup, and we have something interesting coming up on the Bets and Banter show. So stay tuned. Have a great day. Goodbye.